In life, we inevitably encounter moments when others hurl offensive words or exhibit contemptuous behavior. These situations not only test our patience but also stir up hidden negative emotions that lie dormant within us. How can we remain calm, avoid impulsive reactions, and gain mastery over our minds in such circumstances? The teachings of Stoic philosophy, particularly through the profound reflections of Marcus Aurelius, offer us timeless lessons. Marcus Aurelius, a great philosopher and emperor of Rome, provides invaluable guidance on dealing with insults. Stoicism transcends mere philosophy. It serves as a practical guide for everyday life, helping us control our emotions, uphold our dignity, and find inner peace amid life's tempests. Let us explore the fundamental principles of Stoicism to learn how to confront insults with grace, wisdom, and composure, just as Marcus Aurelius did. As we embark on this journey, I encourage you to accept a small challenge. Read this piece attentively and commit to practicing perseverance in your own life. By engaging fully, you can transform your responses to insults and strengthen your resolve. Let's begin with the first principle. 1. Sustaining joy and confidence. When insulted, maintaining a state of happiness and self-confidence is key to deflecting negativity and preventing hurtful words from affecting us. Marcus Aurelius in his Meditations reminds us, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. Therefore guard accordingly, and ensure that you entertain no notions unsuitable to virtue and rational nature." This profound insight highlights our ability to control how we perceive insults. Though others may say what they wish, we have the power to determine how we react. When we are secure in our self-worth, the sting of insults diminishes significantly. True joy is not derived from manipulating external situations or silencing others, but from the peace cultivated within ourselves. Words only have the power to harm if we grant them that authority. By understanding that our value is not diminished by someone else's opinion, we grow resilient and unshakable. Ask yourself, why should the opinions of someone irrelevant disturb your equilibrium? Is your self-confidence so fragile that a few harsh words can undermine it? Consider the inspiring story of Edith Wharton, one of America's most celebrated novelists. Born into an affluent New York family, Wharton faced a society steeped in rigid expectations for women. Despite her evident passion for literature, she endured constant ridicule from family and peers who dismissed her aspirations as unsuitable for a woman. Rather than succumbing to these societal pressures, Wharton persevered. Confident in her talent and unyielding in her resolve, she continued to write. Her persistence paid off in 1921, when she became the first woman to win the Pulitzer Prize for fiction for her novel, The Age of Innocence. Wharton's journey exemplifies the power of self-assurance and determination in the face of derision. If Edith Wharton could rise above the barriers and prejudices of her time, why should we allow others' negativity to hinder us? Are you confident enough to pursue your path undeterred by criticism? 2. Choosing actions. Words can be a double-edged sword, often intensifying conflicts when used without forethought. Stoic philosophy advises us to focus on deliberate actions rather than reactive speech. Marcus Aurelius encapsulates this idea in Meditations. Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be one. This principle encourages us to avoid verbal retaliation when insulted. Instead, we should allow our actions to speak for us. Reacting verbally often exacerbates tension, while measured actions can inspire reflection and understanding. Why meet harsh words with more of the same when thoughtful behavior can communicate far more effectively? A profound example of this can be found in the life of Mahatma Gandhi. During India's struggle for independence, Gandhi faced relentless insults and ridicule from British colonial authorities. Yet he chose not to respond with anger or harsh words. Instead, through his unwavering commitment to nonviolence, Gandhi allowed his actions to convey his principles and resolve. His steadfastness not only preserved his dignity, but also undermined the power of his detractors. The next time you encounter an insult, consider whether responding verbally will truly resolve the situation. Instead, let your actions reflect your character and values. Stoicism teaches that calmness and deliberate conduct demonstrate strength and maturity. 3. The art of listening and responding thoughtfully. When faced with insults, our instinctive reaction often leans toward anger, self-defense, or retaliation. However, Stoic philosophy invites us to adopt a more profound and unexpected response: to listen. True listening is not limited to the words themselves, but also involves understanding the underlying motivations and choosing a measured response. Marcus Aurelius wisely observed, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." Listening is an act of patience and wisdom. It enables us to see past the surface of the insult and discern the root cause, be it the insulter's personal pain, frustration, or irrational impulses. This deeper understanding allows us to respond with insight rather than emotion. By remaining calm and attentive, we not only diffuse tension but also open the door to more intelligent responses. A remarkable example is Wangari Maathai, the Kenyan environmentalist and Nobel Peace Prize laureate. When Maathai initiated the Greenbelt movement to combat deforestation and promote women's rights, she faced scorn and verbal attacks from government officials who branded her a troublemaker. Rather than reacting with hostility, Maathai listened deeply to the fears and insecurities underlying their opposition. She maintained her focus on her cause, ultimately planting millions of trees and fostering sustainable change. This demonstrates that listening is not an act of passivity, but one of strength and intelligence. It allows us to rise above immediate emotions and act with a clear purpose. The next time someone insults you, pause and ask yourself, what lies behind their words? Can listening help you uncover a perspective you hadn't considered? 4. Preserving self-control in relationships. One of the most challenging aspects of life is maintaining balance and composure in relationships, especially when hurtful words or actions arise. Stoicism teaches us that the way we respond to such moments defines our character. Insults often reflect the internal struggles of the insulter rather than the reality of who we are. In any relationship, whether with family, friends, or colleagues, we may encounter moments of discord. Instead of reacting impulsively, ask yourself, can I remain composed and distinguish between the insult and the person delivering it? Mastery of self-control and an unwavering sense of self-worth are essential in these situations. Consider the life of Eleanor Roosevelt, one of the most influential figures of the 20th century. As First Lady of the United States, she was a vocal advocate for civil rights, women's equality, and social justice. She faced relentless criticism from political opponents and the media, often enduring personal attacks on her appearance and demeanor. Yet Roosevelt refused to let such insults deter her. She famously said, "No one can make you feel inferior without your consent." By maintaining her confidence and focusing on her work, Roosevelt not only preserved her integrity, but also strengthened her relationships with those she sought to help. Her example reminds us that our true worth is not determined by others' opinions, but by our own belief in what we stand for. When insulted in a relationship, can you maintain your composure and ensure your goals remain unshaken? 5. The value of discretion and protecting your inner peace. Sometimes the most painful insults come from those we trust, often stemming from the betrayal of shared confidences. Stoic philosophy advises us to safeguard our peace by controlling what we share and keeping certain things private. Marcus Aurelius aptly noted, "You always have the option of having no opinion. There is never any need to get worked up or to trouble your soul about things you can't control." This does not advocate secrecy for its own sake, but rather an awareness of how our vulnerabilities can be weaponized. Protecting our inner world from unnecessary exposure helps us maintain tranquility and avoid unnecessary conflicts. An illustrative example is Edith Wilson, wife of President Woodrow Wilson. During his presidency, she carefully guarded the details of his declining health, despite facing rumors and criticism. By maintaining her discretion, she protected her husband and avoided political chaos, exemplifying resilience and self-control. When facing betrayal or insult, Remind yourself that true strength lies in not allowing others to disturb your inner peace. Can you maintain your composure and keep your vulnerabilities secure? 6. Transforming insults into motivation. When faced with criticism or ridicule, the most empowering response is to turn negativity into fuel for your growth. Life will always present detractors, but Stoicism teaches us that our power lies in what we do with these experiences. Insults belong to the category of things outside our control, but how we respond and grow from them is entirely within our grasp. Howard Schultz, the former CEO of Starbucks, serves as a powerful example. In the early stages of his career, many doubted his vision of creating a coffeehouse culture in America. Investors scoffed at the idea, dismissing it as impractical. Instead of internalizing these insults or becoming discouraged, Schultz focused on his work with renewed vigor. He used the criticism as a catalyst to refine his ideas, learn from mistakes, and push forward. His perseverance transformed Starbucks into a global brand. Schultz's story illustrates that while we cannot control others' opinions, we can control how we channel their negativity. When insulted, instead of reacting emotionally, ask yourself, how can I use this experience to improve? Can I learn something from the situation, refine my approach, and prove my worth through hard work? Mistakes and setbacks are not failures, they are opportunities for growth. By focusing on self-improvement and using criticism as a motivator, you not only rise above the insult but also strengthen your character. The greatest response to negativity is success born of persistence and self-betterment. 7. Building confidence to overcome criticism. Why do insults often hurt us so deeply? It is because they challenge our confidence. Stoic philosophy reminds us that true confidence comes from within and cannot be shaken by external negativity. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "It is not the actions of others that disturb us, but rather our own judgments about them." This teaches us that the power to remain unaffected lies in how we interpret external events. The world is filled with stories of successful individuals who endured relentless criticism. Oprah Winfrey, for example, faced countless rejections early in her career. She was told she was unsuitable for television, yet she went on to become one of the most influential media figures of all time. Similarly, Steve Jobs encountered significant resistance and doubt, even being ousted from the company he co-founded. Yet, he returned stronger, transforming Apple into a global icon. Both Winfrey and Jobs refused to let external criticism define their worth. Instead, they relied on their inner confidence and pursued their visions with clarity and determination. Stoicism teaches us that confidence is not contingent on others' opinions, but is a reflection of our belief in ourselves. The next time someone's words challenge your confidence, pause and ask yourself, does this person's opinion truly define me, or is my value independent of their judgment? When you find strength in your own self-belief, external negativity loses its power. 8. Embracing silence as a powerful response. When insulted, our instinct is often to defend ourselves or retaliate. However, Stoicism teaches us the value of silence. Silence is not weakness. It is a deliberate choice that reflects inner strength and wisdom. Marcus Aurelius observed, "Better to remain silent and be thought a fool than to speak and remove all doubt." This advice emphasizes the power of restraint and the futility of unnecessary arguments. Silence allows us to maintain our composure and avoid escalating conflict. It shifts the focus away from the insult and disarms the insulter, leaving them without fuel for further attacks. Choosing not to engage is a way of asserting control over the situation and protecting your peace of mind. Ronald Reagan, known for his charisma and calm demeanor, exemplified this principle. When faced with criticism, he often chose not to respond, recognizing that explanations or rebuttals would only prolong the conflict. His silence conveyed confidence and allowed him to maintain focus on his goals. The next time you are insulted, consider whether engaging in a verbal exchange will serve any productive purpose. Could silence be a more dignified and powerful response? Remember, your calm composure speaks louder than any words could. 9. cultivating trust in relationships. Despite insults. One of the most challenging aspects of life is navigating insults within personal relationships. When someone close to us uses harsh words, it can feel like a betrayal, shaking the foundation of trust. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "When people injure you, ask yourself what good or harm they thought would come of it. If you understand that, you will feel sympathy rather than outrage or anger." This perspective encourages us to look beyond the insult and examine its source. Often, hurtful words stem from the insulter's own pain, insecurity, or misunderstanding, rather than a true reflection of who we are. In relationships, Stoicism teaches us to prioritize understanding and empathy over retaliation. Imagine being in a long-term relationship where your partner, overwhelmed by stress, lashes out with unkind words. Reacting with anger may escalate the conflict, damaging the relationship further. Instead, Stoicism invites us to pause, consider the root of their behavior, and choose a response that fosters resolution rather than division. Eleanor Roosevelt, despite facing relentless criticism and mockery, maintained her composure and continued to build meaningful connections. She famously remarked, "No one can make you feel inferior without your consent." This philosophy enabled her to focus on her mission and maintain trust in her relationships. When faced with hurtful words in a relationship, ask yourself, can I respond with empathy rather than anger? Can I preserve trust and work toward mutual understanding instead of allowing insults to cause lasting harm? 10. Demonstrating maturity through generosity. True maturity is revealed not in how we react to insults, but in how we rise above them. Marcus Aurelius wisely advised, "When you wake up in the morning, tell yourself, the people I deal with today will be meddling, ungrateful, arrogant, dishonest, jealous, and surly. They are like this because they cannot tell good from evil." This reminds us that those who insult often act out of ignorance or personal struggle, not malice. Maturity involves responding to insults with generosity, not in material terms, but in the generosity of spirit. Forgiveness and understanding free us from the burden of resentment and allow us to maintain our focus on what truly matters. This does not mean condoning bad behavior, but choosing not to let it control our emotions. Nelson Mandela exemplified this principle. After enduring decades of imprisonment and hostility, he chose forgiveness over vengeance, building a foundation for reconciliation in South Africa. His ability to rise above personal insults and bitterness demonstrated unparalleled maturity and wisdom. The next time someone insults you, consider whether retaliating will truly serve you. Can you rise above the moment, demonstrate generosity, and maintain your peace? Stoicism teaches us that the ultimate strength lies in mastering our emotions and choosing the higher road. Through the lens of Stoicism, Marcus Aurelius provides us with timeless wisdom for confronting insults. Whether through silence, self-improvement, or understanding, these principles remind us that our power lies in how we choose to respond. Insults only harm us if we allow them to. By practicing composure, empathy, and self-mastery, we can transform challenges into opportunities for growth and demonstrate the true strength of character.